Hey all, welcome to Sensa YouTube channel. In my channel, we talk about personal finance, money, and saving money by not buying scratch toys for your cats. Today, we're going to talk all about investment-linked policies, and if you don't already know what I'm going to say about it, spoiler alert, you should probably avoid them. Investment-linked policies, or ILP, as the name suggests, combines investment as well as insurance together in one policy. So it sounds like a good idea, right? We need insurance, we also need investment. Hey, why not get something that does both? Now, there are a few types of ILPs, and I think they can be broadly classified into two different categories. One, regular premium ILP, and two, single premium ILP. Regular premium ILPs tend to have a significant focus on insurance, whereas single premium ILP has very minimal insurance component, usually 101% death benefit, which is why they are also called 101 ILPs. Today, we're going to talk all about regular premium ILPs and why you should actually avoid such policies. The number one reason why you should avoid such plans: commissions. Again, commissions is very high in a regular premium ILP. Just like long-term savings plans, which I covered in the previous video, ILPs have very high upfront commissions, and this eat into your return in the long run. The high commissions are reflected in the low allocation rate of the regular premium ILP. So if you notice in the ILP, for the first year, usually the allocation rate is something very low, like 0 to 20%. So if you buy an ILP of yearly premium $3,000, only a few $100s are invested in the first year, and the rest go to paying your agent's commission. Oh, let me correct myself. It goes to paying distribution costs, which is then used to pay commissions, as if there's some kind of difference. And just like a savings plan, as much as 2 years of your premiums go towards paying distribution costs. Again, distribution cost is used to pay for commissions and incentive trips that your agent enjoys. And the high commissions are made worse by the fact that it's incurred at the start of the policy, which means you're actually losing a lot of time value of money. So again, if you're putting $3,000 per year into such a policy, that's about $5,000 to $6,000 of upfront fees that could have compounded for a long time horizon of 20, 30 years at, 6 to 7%. That's a lot of money lost. So again, if you buy an ILP, I hope you like your agent a lot, because he or she is going to like you a lot better. Now, there are some ILPs that say, hey, we'll give you bonus units, so you won't actually have only 20% allocation rate in the first few years. Now, bonus units may sound good, but do you think that the commission on these plans are any lower? Now think about it. The insurer cannot possibly give you high bonus units, the agent high commission rate, and still make its profit off the policy that they just sold to you. It's a zero-sum game, meaning to say every dollar put in has to be divided across you, the insurance company, and the agent, and trust me, their cut is not reduced by such an arrangement. Such a policy will recoup all these bonus units through a variety of fees, and fees. And if you ever think of terminating earlier, you guessed it, termination penalties. Which brings me to my second reason why you should avoid such policies: fees. Now, incredibly, apart from high commissions, you also have high fees. And yes, those are different things. When you buy an insurance product, you typically have to pay insurance-related charges like distribution costs. And when you buy an investment product, you usually have to pay the sales charge and other investment charges. Now, that's fair. But for ILPs, you're actually double paying both insurance charges and investment charges on the whole lot. So let's say your budget for investing in insurance is $3,000 a year, and you choose to buy an ILP to settle both. What happens is that the distribution cost is applied to all $3,000 of the annual premium. So the few $100s that's left is used to buy investment units, which are then sold to pay for assurance charges, which is the cost of insuring you. So you're actually double paying fees. Your insurance side of things are being subject not only to insurance charges, but also investment charges. And then the investment side of things are not only subjected to investment fees, but also insurance fees. How does that make sense? Imagine going to McDonald's and buying a meal, and then it's more expensive than if you bought the drink, the burger, and the fries separately. And for ILPs that offer bonus units, there are policy fees, admin fees, maintenance fees, account fees. Lots of fees that will eat into your returns in the long run. And as with every ILP I've seen, they are invested in funds with high annual management fees, which will eat into your return as well. Now, the third reason is that an ILP actually has escalating assurance charges as a person grows older. What this means is that as a person grows older and older, the amount of assurance charges being deducted from the investment units gets more and more in an exponential manner. Now, I think this is quite a misunderstood aspect of ILPs. I actually like this feature because when you're relatively young, the assurance charge is very, very small, which means more of your money can go towards investing. And when you reach a certain age and your investment has reached a certain stage where you feel like I don't need insurance anymore, you can actually terminate as the insurance charges are starting to get higher. So it's actually a very good feature that I think is quite useful, except ILPs tend to be sold as whole life plans to people, and people think that they can keep this plan to a very old age when it's not true. You should not keep your ILP beyond a certain age like 60, 65, because by that point the assurance charges will get higher and higher, such that even if you still want to keep it, the value inside your policy may not be able to sustain the high assurance charges. An increasing assurance charge model is actually a useful feature because when you're young, more goes to investing, and when you're old, you can choose to stop the coverage and then you have enjoyed the time value of money. However, it's pegged to an ILP with high upfront costs, so the usefulness is negated by that. So long story short, this feature is actually not that bad, but it goes against what a lot of people expect from their policy, which is to provide whole of life coverage. Of course, whether or not whole of life coverage is necessary is another topic for another video. Now, before I move on to the last reason why you should avoid ILPs, I'm giving an open invitation for people who want me to analyze policies they have bought or policies they have been recommended. Just send me a benefit illustration and you can blank out all your personal details, and it will become a subject topic for my next video where I'll go through the policies and analyze whether they are good or they are bad. Okay, find out more in the description below. So one final reason I can think of right now why ILPs are a bad idea is because you lose flexibility in choosing where your money goes to for investing. You can only choose from the insurance company sub-funds, and they tend to be all very expensive and high expense ratio funds, and their performance may not be the best. With so many investment options now, why limit yourself to an insurance company's investment funds? So what are some alternatives one can consider when it comes to insurance as well as investment? Now, disclaimer, I have to put a lot of disclaimers, a lot of asterisks to say that this is not personal financial advice and you should do your own due diligence. I would say go and see a financial advisor, but they tend to be the ones selling you such policies. So go and read up more, go and research and make your own informed decision on what to do. Lose money, don't come and find me. Make money, want to share with me? Sure. What you can do is to buy insurance separately from your investment, because when you buy the meal together, they are charging you more for the entire meal than if you buy the separate components. Such a strategy is called buy term invest the rest. So you take your $3,000, go and buy a term policy for a few $100s, and then use the remaining for your investing in robo-advisors, use your Moomoo, use your Tiger for buying ETFs. Your returns tend to be higher due to lower costs. By avoiding all the upfront commissions of an ILP, you also can choose investments that are cheaper rather than high expense ratio funds that most ILPs come with. Now, it is also more flexible. Let's say you're a fresh graduate or you're tight on budget, but you do need insurance coverage and you only have about $1,000 a year, an ILP is going to give you a very pathetic amount of coverage. Instead, you could use a few $100s a year to buy a term policy that will give you high amount of coverage. And then when your financial situation improves and you have more disposable income, you can then start your investing. Now, a lot of people will tell you invest early, invest early. But if you are really tight on budget, it's perfectly fine to delay your investing journey by 1, 2, or even 5 years. At most, you delay your retirement by 1, 2, or 5 years. But if you do not get properly insured, the risk is that a critical illness might strike or an inability to work might happen, and you will suffer a financial impact so huge that you might never be able to recover from. So you should get your insurance in order first. So buying a term policy first gives you high amount of coverage, and then when your financial situation improves, you can then start your investment. Now, actually, investment-linked policies can be designed well, but I have not seen an ILP that's actually compelling enough to recommend or to buy for myself. Now, my ideal kind of ILP will actually retain the increasing term structure that most ILPs have right now, but have allocation rate at the start close to 100, maybe about 80-90%, so that the agent still can earn about 10-20% of the premium. Is that too high? And allow us to select low cost funds like ETFs. But I think this is a pipe dream. No insurance company will be inclined to do it because agents and the company themselves earn a lot from the ILPs. So if you like this video and you want more people to avoid ILPs, leave a comment in the comment section below so that YouTube algorithm will push me up to other people's homepages and more people can hear about this. And as usual, subscribe to my Telegram, and remember to send me your policy illustrations so that I can analyze them in my next video. Until next time, stay away from ILP, Savings Plan, Haley the insurance agent, and I'll see you next video. 羊毛出在羊身上, right? The wool comes from the sheep. So if the sheep get some wool given back to him. Whose wool is it? It's your wool!